Good morning, welcome to Mind Class. Today we're going to go through a yoga-ish session. So we're going to start seated on our mats. You'll need your mat. I remembered to grab a yoga block today because I do recall we go into triangle and half moon. If those are two moves that, or poses that kind of give you a challenge and you have a yoga block, grab it, put it nearby just in case, okay? We're going to, again, start seated and then we'll make our way up to stand at some point. We're going to flow at some point and then we're going to end seated at stretching. So thank you for joining today. Go ahead and play some music. Start your watches if you're tracking for yoga. Put some water nearby. I do believe we got a little bit sweaty last time as we moved through all of the poses and exercises. So we'll go ahead and begin. Today's word is I am strong. I know it's not completely paralleled with a mind class, but if you think about strong mind, body, and soul, absolutely, it's a perfect word for today. So my physical and intellectual powers are my greatest resources. So be strong today in all that you do, especially in class. So we'll go ahead and push play on the timer and we'll get going. Right up there, okay. So go ahead and get seated on your mat, sitting on your sit bones, just rock yourself back and forth. You can sit legs crossed, posture tall, or extend your legs out depending on what's comfortable for you, okay? So we'll go ahead and start. If you'd like to play some music, I do have some playing. I doubt you can hear it. It's pretty soft today, but you're welcome to play some music. So something soft and soothing. All right, making our ways down to our mats, and we're just going to do some seated breathing. So inhale up, then exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Moving at the speed of your own breath. All right, we're going to take one leg, cross it over the other. We're going to take that leg and turn. Look over your shoulder, top of your posture. And let's uncross that leg, cross the other one, and look the other direction. Oh, this leg's gonna not let me do this today. All right, one side might feel tighter than the other. Make your adjustments at every pose that we do. It might feel that way. So come on down to all fours, cat-cow. So just make your adjustments. Fingertips are forward, hands are directly underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We're going to just go ahead and tuck our chin, tuck our tailbone, round out your spine, push the floor away from you, and then come back in reverse. Go ahead and move at your own pace here. If you need something soft for your knees or hands, grab that. Draw your belly button in as you round. Control as you lower down. Find yourself a neutral tabletop. Adjust your hands and knees as needed. And we're going to go ahead and extend bird dog, opposite arm, opposite leg, and then switch. So I want you holding for about 3 seconds. Squeezing through your center, engaging your glute, reaching long with your fingertips and your toes, finding your balance, and then switching. A lot of times people move so quickly they don't have a chance to squeeze, contract, and find your balance. So this is all about engaging your core, starting to fire up your core muscles for the work you're going to do today, okay? It's not just about rushing through it. From here, curl your toes under, come to a down dog. Once you're in your down dog, go ahead and round through your spine. Kind of tuck your tailbone under, round up through your chest. Roll, lowering yourself all the way down. And then baby cobra. Coming back up to your down dog. We're going to roll forward through the ankles. Shoulders come forward, lower yourself down, and baby cobra. So it's a spinal roll. I think we're kind of picking up on that. Go ahead one more time, down dog. Round, 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 roll to plank, lower down, and your baby cobra here. All right, to all fours. Let's take one leg forward. And we're going to take a low lunge, so you can either keep your back knee down or straighten out your back leg, back heel to the back wall. And we're going to open up twist with one hand, and then we're going to open up twist with the other. For some reason today, everything is very stiff. This is very challenging for me today. I even did an extra hip stretch workout yesterday, 30 minutes of opening up my hips, and this is still challenging today. So just take your time. Let your body loosen up each rotation. One more, and then let's switch sides. So again, you can take a knee, or you can take your back leg, extend it, and reach your back heel to the back wall. Same thing, different side, might feel different. You're balancing, holding your weight up between your feet and your hand, twisting, taking that pause, that moment at the top of the twist. If you'd like to hold it a little bit longer, that's fine too. Trying to keep your hips facing the ground. My breathing is starting to come up. It's just the warm up. Both hands to the ground. And let's step our other foot forward. Rise up out of it, and then we're going to shimmy our way down into a deep squat. So deep squat today might be something different than you did last week. If you need to come up a little bit higher or lower, each week is going to be a little bit different. What I'd like for you to do is to keep your chest up, and if it's too intense, come up, shake it out, and then come back, okay? Yeah, I'm already breathing. Heart rate up. Can you get a little bit lower? Drop your butt down, chest up. Weight back in your heels. Big toe on the floor. All right, go ahead and drive yourself on up from that. Shake it off, and we're coming into our first flow. Our flow, we're gonna hold the poses each for 30 seconds, and then we'll go through it a little bit quicker, okay? But we're gonna start right leg forward into a high lunge. So we've got both feet facing forward. Your hips are facing forward. Feet are parallel. Drop your back knee. Feel a nice stretch on the hip flexor, and then arms reach straight up overhead. Wiggle out your feet and adjust yourself so that you're staying balanced. Tuck your tailbone under, engage your abdominals. Breathe here. And then go ahead and drop your back heel, turn your hips. So now your feet are perpendicular, your front heel's facing your arch of your other foot. Bend your front knee, come up and over, back leg is straight. We're in right angle. I'm gonna come this direction. It's actually really close to what my shirt picture is. So we're reaching. If you can bend your front knee a little bit more, I think you can get deeper into this pose. Every time trying to get deeper into your poses. Go ahead and straighten up your legs, come into triangle. So open your chest, hinge forward, look towards your top hand. This is where that yoga block will come into play if you need it. You can always place it down for a little bit of extra support or balance. Otherwise, you are holding yourself up, reaching long from ceiling to floor. In this triangle position, oh, what a good hip opener too. Some people like to put their hand on their shin. I don't know if that's a bad habit to get into with yoga or not, but all right, then we're coming into our warrior two. So feet still staying perpendicular, front knee bends, back leg straight. Tuck your tailbone under, elongate, stretch out your arms, reaching and looking over your fingertips. So our goal is to get low enough eventually to get your thigh parallel to the floor. And as you're in this pose and you're tucking your tailbone under, you should feel your glutes fire up, okay? Coming into a reverse warrior, so we're gonna actually leave that knee bent, reach back. This is what the picture on my shirt is actually, is Wonder Woman doing a reverse warrior. So hand on the back of your thigh. Some of you are gonna be able to get all the way down to your calf because you're that flexible. We're reaching up and away, rib cage, reaching away from your hip bones, fingertips reaching. Support yourself on the back thigh, and come on up. Let's try the other side. Okay, I'm gonna face forward this time. Left leg forward, right leg back. This is gonna feel a little different in balance, that's okay. Find it, then reach your arms up, tuck your tailbone under, engage your core, tall through your spine. So I always want you to think about your rib cage lifting away from your hip bones. Shoulders down and out of your ears, biceps next to your ears. Okay, we don't want to creep up like this. We want everything drawn down and back. So shoulder blades pull back, drop your back heel, bend your front knee, reach up and over. Long lines. Think about your fingertips to your heel, making a big stretch. So all of the muscles on the side of the body are elongating and lengthening because you've got your foot anchored and your fingertips reaching. Straightening the legs, coming forward with the crown of your head, triangle. Again, if you need your block, I'll use it on this side. It is there for you to just get that extra distance while giving yourself a little support. You can always switch it so you can get a little bit deeper. It is there for you as an assistance, okay? It's your helper if you need it. Right, coming back up, bending your front leg, wiggle out your back foot so this thigh becomes parallel to the ground. Reaching out long, tucking your tailbone under. Rib cage leading to the ceiling, away from your hips. Shoulders aren't creeping up. Draw them down and back, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Then we're going to keep this bent leg up just a little bit in reverse warrior. Hand on the back of the thigh for support. Again, we're reaching, taking our rib cage away from our hip bone. Tall through your spine. We're not bending backwards, we're just lengthening up. And release. Okay, we're gonna go through a flow on the right. And I'll tell you when we're switching to the left, but flow, okay? On the right, you're just gonna move along with me. We're gonna hold, and then I'll move it a little bit quicker, okay? So let's go ahead and start with our high lunge. Fingertips reaching to the ceiling, and your shoulder blades are pulled down and back behind you. It's the time in your life where you want your shoulders to feel depressed. You're depressing them down and back. Only time. Drop your back heel, perpendicular, reach up and over, right angle hold. Continuing to just lengthen and pull, fingertips forward. At no point are you just sitting here resting. You're reaching, and lengthening. Draw your belly button in. Straighten your front leg, hinge forward at your hip, reach floor to ceiling, open up your chest, stack your shoulders. Eye gaze up, chin stays up, keeping your spine long here. Coming up out of that, bending your front knee, wiggling back your back foot, reaching long, warrior two. Tuck your tailbone under, tall posture. As soon as I tell you to tuck your tailbone under and your shoulders are correct a little bit, and you get a little bit taller and you're prouder in your posture. Bend your front knee a little bit more, have it up a little high. You should feel this pose. And a little bit of shakiness, that's okay. Reverse warrior lift, reach. and press out of that. Let's go ahead and turn our feet forward. High lunge, hold. Back heel drops, right angle, reach. Straighten out your legs, triangle. Come back to your warrior two, hold. Sink down, level out your back foot. Check your tailbone under, reach it long. Hand the back of your thigh, reverse warrior. Couple more seconds and then we're gonna switch legs. Go ahead and release. And now we've got our left leg forward, right leg back, high lunge, hold. Drop your back knee. So both knees are bent on this one. Finding your balance. It's easy to wobble. If it was a little breezy today, we'd be wobbling. Shoulders down, fingertips up. Everything should feel warm now and a little bit wobbly. And then go ahead and drop your back heel perpendicular, right angle, reach it over. This is probably the only one where I'm not feeling wiggly or wobbly right now. Those are just your stabilizing muscles at work. Reach up and over. Straighten your legs, hinge forward, reach forward with the crown of your head as you open up your chest and your fingertips are reaching floor to ceiling. Use your yoga block if you need it. Rise up, reach into your warrior two, lower your back foot back, tilt your tailbone under, again, long arms. Even my shoulders are starting to feel warm now. Bend your front knee over your ankle. And take it in reverse. Turning yourself back to your high lunge, bend your back knee, find your balance, reaching tall. Rib cage away from your hip bone. Right angle, bend your front leg, elbow on the thigh, forearm on the thigh, reaching up and over. Long reach as if I'm there and I'm pulling with your fingers away from you. Triangle, straighten things up. Warrior two, reaching forward with your, and backwards with your fingertips. Bend your front knee. Tuck your tailbone under. And reverse. You can come up a little bit out of that pose, but reaching tall. All right, go ahead and come center of your mat mountain. And let's just breathe. Maybe a little bit of an ankle roll. We've got new work, okay? A little more stabilizing work to go here. So if you remember last week, if you were with us, we started in tree. You can start with your hip turned open and your toe on the ground. Then slowly work your foot up to your calf. The arch of your foot should fit right in your calf as you keep your hip open. If you'd like to make it a little bit further, go ahead and help yourself out above your knee. Place your foot for 10 seconds. Open up your hip. Come tall through posture. And release. Get ready for a dancer, so quad stretch prep, and then extend and reach. This is a long hold, you guys, so slowly move your way into it. Start with your quad stretch, find your balance there, then lean forward and lean forward just little by little. In the next 15 seconds, push your foot into your hand, Work on your balance, find that focal point, bury your big toe into the ground, bury your pinky toe in the ground. And then come out of that, pause for a second, find your footing again, warrior three. So anchor your foot, lift up your other foot, and then reaching back, long spine. Remember, you can place your hands by your side in prayer, out in airplane, overhead, what works best for you today. Find your balance first. I'm just struggling to find my balance. It doesn't matter what I do with my hands yet. All right, and if you have that yoga block nearby and you need it for half moon, you might. We go from our warrior three to a 3-point balance. And when you're ready, open up your chest, open up your hips, half moon, flex your foot. Okay? Oh, that yoga block does help. Oh, all the wobbly ankle. All right, go ahead and release, and let's try the other side. So again, starting hip open, toe down, hip open, bottom of your foot on your calf, and then if you're ready, when you're ready, you can draw it all the way up. Find your balance in your pose. I actually like this flow, prefer these poses better than the flow we just did. This one's way too short. I'd like to do more of it, so we're not today, but some other day. All right, go ahead and with your quad stretch, and then start leaning into it, reaching front to back. Get in your perfect figure skater pose. This is your perfect Vegas fountain pose. Release, find your balance again, find that focal point. Maybe that was my problem on the other side. Warrior three, I didn't find my focal point. I never found it. All right, find your focal point, warrior three, extend, long, long, long. Your toe can be pointed here. Hands down by your side, prayer, out like a T, overhead. Couple more seconds. All right, fold into your warrior three. If you're using your block, put it nearby. And then when you're ready, open up your hip, open up your chest, open up your arms. Flex and flatten out your foot. And you're in half moon. Gosh, we haven't done this in so long, you guys. I really feel like I've lost my ability. We haven't been practicing it. Might have to come back into our lives someday soon. All right, release. Both feet on the ground, toes forward, just underneath your hips. We're coming into chair. Okay. Butt down, chest up. You can again put your hands down, prayer, or overhead. Okay. Sink down a little bit deeper with your butt. And rise up, step out, toes turned out, dropping down into our goddess. Knees open, hips open. If you'd like to raise your heels and hold it with your heels up, you can. Still elevated heart rate, still elevated breathing. I like to do a lot of work here, blood's pumping. Nice deep breaths. And rise up, okay. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. I don't think you're gonna need your block. You might want it, so don't put it too far away, but I don't think you're gonna need it for a bit here. Feet just underneath your hips. Inhale up. Exhale, hands clasped behind the back, and we're gonna fold forward, proud chest, long spine, hamstring stretch. When you get to your fold, your chin is up, you can go ahead and extend your arms into a chest opener here, okay? You can hold here, or you can rise up and flow back into it again, okay? Try to keep your chin above your heart here because that's going to help you from getting dizzy when we move on to the next moves. Slowly bring your hands to the small of your back. Unclasp your hands, take your hands to the floor. Walk your feet back to down dog, and let's hold down dog. Chin up, eye gaze ahead of you, fingertips spread wide, palms into the floor, heels reaching to the mat. Go ahead and take your left leg, bend at the knee, drop the foot behind you so the ball of your foot falls, and we're headed into wild thing. You again can either hold here, or you can come back to down dog. I'm going to come back to down dog, and I'm going to do it one more time. So bend my knee, same side, place my foot down. This is great practice for Saturday mornings and your wild thing. Come on back to your down dog, hold it, find your positioning, chin up. Now bend your right leg, place it behind you. Again, one side's going to feel better than the other. This side feels better than the other today. You can either hold or come back to your down dog, flip it back, okay? And let's do it again. Bend your right leg, place it on the floor behind you, reach. 10 seconds here. Moving on over to your down dog. Walk your feet forward and get squatted down. We're coming into a frog or a deep squat. So feet out wide, hips wide, knees wide. And this is where I said you might want your yoga block, okay? If it helps you to come up a little bit higher while staying down low. Does that make sense? So if it helps you lift your chest while keeping your butt down, or maybe you need to come up a little bit higher, or maybe you're in your deep squat here, okay? All versions of this you can do. My hips are a little bit more relaxed than they were in the beginning when we did the deep squat, so I think I can get to frog. Oh, you know, I'm doing the wrong thing. Okay, that's all right. We're supposed to be in a frog's child's pose. Let's do that for a second, okay? So knees wide, toes wide. Frog's child pose feels way better than what we were just doing. Both feel good. Knees wide, feet wide, frog. Frog childs, not just frog. Squat. All right, stay there for 5 more seconds. And let's go ahead and turn. Get my timer back. Onto our backs. Pull one knee into your chest. You got this now. And we're just going to lengthen out the back, the straight leg, okay? So really lengthen, draw your knee in, open up the hip flexor. Yesterday I did this stretch on a foam roller. So if you feel like you're not getting deep enough, you can always put the yoga block underneath your back and let your leg drape down. That'll give you a good stretch that way too. So this is actually a really good stretch, laying with your sacrum on the foam roller, not your lower back, but just like your, you can kind of feel your pelvic bones in the back side. You put the foam roller lengthwise there, and it really helps. Okay, we're going to thread through figure 4. And let's untwist here, switch legs, lengthen out. The leg was bent, pull the other knee into your chest. Another thing that happens is sometimes our toe turns out, like our hip wants to rotate out this way. Try to keep your toe straight to the ceiling. Doesn't mean it has to point to the ceiling, it can be pointed towards the wall, But try to keep it straight rather than turned out. It'll help your hip turn in, and then you're just going to lengthen and reach through so that your hip flexor is getting that stretch. And figure four thread through, so ankle over the thigh, thread through underneath your thigh. Open up your knee. So I was kind of tilted off to the side here. I just straightened myself out. Try to get both hip bones on the floor so that one's not tilted. Straighten yourself up. It does make a difference. Clearly we've moved on to our stretching section of class, so we're just going to work on reaching through our muscles. They're so warm right now. Hips should be nice and open. All right, go ahead and release both legs, straighten up. Take one knee, bend it. Spinal twist. We're going to keep the other shoulder on the floor as we twist. You can use this hand to help if you'd like. And you can also play around with how deep you want to bend your knee. So you can straighten it a little bit, bend it a little bit more. That also makes a difference. Use your hand to manipulate your thigh if you need to. Try to keep your shoulder on the ground. And let's switch sides. Come to neutral center. And then switch. Try to keep your shoulder on the ground. Come back up to center, rock yourself to sit. We're going into hamstring stretches, so you can take one leg, bend it, or you can get that leg out of the way and reach forward for your hamstring stretch. Let's go right leg forward, chest towards your knee, trying to keep your toes to the ceiling. Easier said than done. Rise up and let's switch legs. So either bend the other leg and straighten the other one, or if you're already straight legged, reach to your other side. Come on up and come center. Go ahead and open up your straddle a little bit further. And we're going to walk ourselves forward. Remember, you're just going to keep working on getting a little bit deeper in the stretch every time that we come into it. So a little bit further forward after each breath. Consciously leading yourself forward. This is our last stretch, so enjoy it and try to get a little bit deeper. So you're making this a nice, yummy stretch for yourself, okay? Polishing off our mind class for the day. I can't believe how tight I was. And maybe you're thinking the same thing, but this is why we show up, is to work on this flexibility and our mobility, how our body can move. and flex and stretch. All right, go ahead and come on up. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale. We'll be back here tomorrow for kickboxing. It's been a while, I feel like. So I'll see you then. Have a great afternoon. And thank you for joining. Remember, be strong. Stay strong.